Howdy folks, this is Ben from the Hillbilly Theology Podcast, and I wanted to take just a minute to talk a little bit about one of the primary reasons that I'm not Protestant. And we're going to explore this in a lot more detail in this Monday's episode of the Hillbilly Theology Podcast, so check that out on your favorite podcast app. But right now I'm just going to kind of give a Cliff Note version. And the primary, I won't say, it might be actually just the primary reason that I'm not Protestant, is that a lot of Protestant beliefs can't be found in the early church, in the earliest church, the first, pre-Nicaea, in the first 300 years of Christianity. And it's not that they can't be found that bothers me as much as that there's beliefs out there that the Catholic Church holds to, that the early Christians held to, that they held to pretty much unanimously. I mean, virtually unanimously they held to these beliefs, and they were willing to die for these beliefs. So I think it says a lot about Bible verses that Catholics and Protestants disagree on in these particular subjects, because, we can go back and forth on what the Bible, this particular Bible verse means, or that particular Bible verse means. The Bible's kind of like an onion. There's a lot of layers to it. So, depending on how you're looking at it, you might come up with a different interpretation, different interpretation than what I come up with. So I think looking at the earliest church fathers and seeing that they were basically unanimous on things like baptismal regeneration, the real presence in the Eucharist, a hierarchical church of bishops, priests, and deacons, all these things they were basically unanimous on. All but, if they weren't unanimous, they're virtually unanimous on. And all these things would go against the vast majority of what Protestants believe, or a vast majority of Protestants and what they believe. So we'll talk about that a little bit more on Monday during the podcast. We'll go in a little more depth about it, but just something to chew on, because I think that it's a major issue. If these people helped us to come to the decision of what books were supposed to be in the Bible, what books are inspired, as far as the New Testament, we have to trust them on that aspect. Why are we not trusting them on these other things? And if they were that close to the apostles, their opinions as a whole should hold a lot of weight to the biblical interpretations that we argue over. We'll see you Monday.